Proper story's supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble. Ground forms up under his feet as if pointing the way. He don't stop to wonder why. Finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road. Well, it's a touching reunion. He sees what's left of the rippling walls, years of work undone in an instant, in the calamity. That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a gas fella, forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Fella got a piece of him, though. An old repeater falls out of the sky. Ain't a gift from the gods, but it'll have to do. Gotta hold her still to spin up the chamber. Kid's worked up quite a thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting. Sometimes you just need a drink. A school of squirts tunnels up around them. Must have fled here from the mines. He sets foot inside one of Zealandia's famous watering holes. Inside's old Rondi, the bartender. The calamity got him before his drinking did. Rondi always wanted his ashes scattered here. Then Kid finds his trusty shield. But just as he's getting a handle on it, the security takes him for a petty thief. Special delivery, gas fellas. Windbags start turning up for last call. More squirts start coming out of the woodwork. A big old fella pops out in front of the kid. Then windbags are playing for keeps. Kid sees the way to the Bastion out the window. It's a bit of a drop. He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke. Kid spies a good perch for some target practice. He knows he should draw the string all the way back. The kid pockets a memento from a breaker, once the fastest man in the land. Good news is the emergency defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid. Wasn't long before the kid could loose an arrow, strong and true. Picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome. He finds the distillery, right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town. One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man. The arsenal's where the kid can pick the best tools for the job. He's a mighty fast learner. Some of them squirts birthing like crazy in a couple of corn bins. Bad time to run out of black tonic. That one was Maud, the tutor. Once taught the kid good manners. He never used them, though. An old ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now. Kid takes a chunk of alloy. Smell of barley and spoiled blueberries fills the air. Scumbags. Kid maybe shouldn't have done what he just did. Rob's a scumbag of his last meal. puts him out of his misery. He finds the core to the wharf district. He steals the city's heart. Might as well. Kid has a feeling he better get a move on. The place is starting to fall. See, that core Kid took was the only thing making this particular rock stay afloat. Kid just keeps running. Skyway's in sight. Well, down he goes. Down toward the Bastion. Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. We talk for a spell. There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest, enough to point the way to the cores. All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there, then watch. And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again, growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown. Kid ponders what to build. Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply. Where whiskey has no scent, but tastes like a peppered boot heel, it's not for everyone. Kid don't know what's out there waiting for him. The Skyway. Now the kid can ride the wind to distant lands. Now he lands at the intersection between bad and wrong. Ought to be a core down one of these twisted streets. But which one? He heads for the squirt steps. Won't be no field trip this time. Keeps telling himself he better watch his step. He heads for the biggest dump in town. Scumbag Alley. Some scumbag still feeding off the city's own trash. And there he is. The oldest scumbag of them all. Gershel. Calamity ain't done much for Gershel's sunny disposition.
Dzień dobry.
They always said old Gershel wouldn't go without a fight. No core, no surprise. Like the gas fellas are hiding it from him. The rest of the path is gone for good, and his city crest won't bring it back.
Knopers?
Brawa.
Elo!
Siema.
Up north is where the gas fella foreman used to live,
Bastiona sobie gra.
tending to his flock.
Muszę przyznać, że jest zajebiste.
No to była za roku Lidii, nie?
Tak, świdujący. Cały czas jest taki koleś, który komentuje wszystko to, co robię.
No bo to jest
Wyjątkowo
bajka,
dobrze
co
działa.
nie?
Wyjątkowo dobrze działa. Naprawdę gierka jest kozacka. Wiesz, wziąłem w ciemno tylko dlatego, że tak słyszałem dużo o tym, nie? I fajnie wyglądała.
And there it is,
Padem grać,
but it's
że-
locked down tight in an alloy cage. The blustery old foreman's keeping his
to
fellas in
pierdol.
check,
Popycha.
almost like he's showboating
Dla
for the
twojego
crowd.
piłka już 4 godziny grałem. Multiplayera. Czyli jest dobrze.
Tak. Ty, no nie
Ja
jestem w
kupiłem
stanie
za
nic
kota
zrobić.
jedynkę, a byłem w 3, to grałem pół godziny i się znudziło. Oto Batman czy Call of Duty 2?
Ja Batmana już skończyłem.
Tylko też muszę skończyć.
Ale
Czas
to
najebać
mówiłeś, że to
zombie.
jest 45% gry. Nie, to było już jakieś 7
Tak?
Jeszcze tą misję zrobiłem kobietą kot i w zasadzie, znaczy no dobra, nie zrobiłem pobocznych misji, bo mi się już nie chciało.
My też się nie chcę, bo zrobiłem parę i miałem tak samo. Przebiegnij, nabij,
No,
odbiegnij.
no niestety to jest feller sandbox.
And now there's a new marshal in
No.
town. He hears the whole place groan, but it's too tough to fall. Might as well check the other side streets before leaving this hole.
O, narta.
Scumbag can digest just about anything. Except for this. It's quick for slicing and light enough to throw.
Art mi się zajebiście podoba w tej grze.
They say even the most rambunctious squirts can be tamed. Squirts don't make the best of friends, but they can be useful in a pinch.
No dobra, i co ja teraz tutaj mam zrobić? Wszystko odkryłem.
Them squirts just don't know when to quit. He comes back, just like I knew he would. The core hums in his pack. The monument's calling for it. Kid does it again, Only fair he decides what we build next. A lot of things need fixing up in this world, and we can start right here. The little Zolwood oil and that blade shines like a light. Ain't always much to say. Picked up traces of other cores while the kid was out. In better days, the melting pot was sealed tighter than the skin on a squirt. Of all the plans to survive the calamity, it had to be stabweeds. Blasted things hurt like a broken heart.
Lol?
If there's a core, he figures it ought to be deeper down. Core stuck inside one of those fancy cages. He throws a switch. Now what could possibly go wrong? Quite a bit, as it turns out. The cage starts lifting from the core ever so slow. All Kid can do is wait. Shipments start falling in. Not every squirt's born bad. Some spring to the kid's defense. Judging by the movement of the cage, it's gonna take a little while. Scumbags don't take kindly to interlopers. Even some gas fellas take his corner. Heard he'd pop that mean old foreman. At this rate, maybe 5 more minutes, maybe 30. Hard to tell. Squirts get real territorial around the core. Then a shipment of free samples shows up. thing's for sure, that cage is awful heavy. It ain't all bad. As the kid finds some spices from Northland. Tax-free. It's a troublesome scene to be sure. Moments left, and the core goes free. 10, 9, 8, 7. You give or take a few seconds. Finally, the core's within reach. And done. He's got it. Just gotta get to the nearest barge. I still remember the look on his face after that one. The old world's finished, but the new world's just getting started. Folks voyaged across the boundless sea to found Zealandia. It was good living here for a while. Turns out those old bones still have some spark in them. The Bastion's a place of peace, but we can hold our own if we have to. The repeater and machete, favorite choices of the Ura hunters we once fought. Couples used to walk the sundown path. Kid ain't here for pleasure, though. But then, somebody gets to the core before the kid. The floor starts giving way under the lightest step. The single panic squirt could bring the whole place down. So could a reckless kid, for that matter. Fragments of the old world rain from the sky. Well, the path ain't exactly open to visitors no more. Security is all fired up. See, the path was intended for leisurely strolling and such. Not so much for noise and tomfoolery. Sky bridges link the path together. One of them bridges whips the kid along. Air travel always was an iffy proposition. The calamity changed everything, even where the wind blows. Well, if we mastered the winds in the old days, we can do it again. But the question is, who else could have taken the core? Well, ain't no survivor stole the thing. Scumbag ate it by mistake. Tough break. Unlike the kid, that core ain't coming back. No, they used to ship live munitions down the path. Find time to find them. These wires to toss those things plenty far away. Even gas fellas need some shut-eye from time to time. They get real cranky when you wake them up. In all this toil, Kid keeps coming back to an overwhelming question. Who else could have survived the calamity? So he didn't find the core that time, but that ain't about to stop us. The dead welcome him with open arms. The calamity took everybody after all. Kid sees it plain, frozen faces all around. You don't much care to see him, not like this. These folks never saw the calamity coming, but someone did. Someone close. Someone who ain't like Mr. Beckley and his kindly wife. It was someone like him. Kid sees him there agape, in the flesh. Hits a snag or two trying to get to him. He ain't about to stop, no matter what. Got so many questions after all. Just ain't got time for answers.
Co?
Czym ty się skizujesz?
The Thunder Brothers.
Tak, po mordzie.
They never saw what it was
Nagle
like
potem.
beyond the walls. Nordy the bird boy didn't make it. The Jawsons, they didn't make it. Grady Sr., Grady Jr., they didn't make it. But him, he survived. Kid finds proof enough that man ain't from around here. Just think, without that man, we wouldn't be here right now, would we? The Corps survived as well. Kid does what he has to do. And then... what do you say to a man who's seen too much?
You've seen too much!
Kid hasn't a clue, but he says this. We have to go. Please. He's a proper gentleman, that man. His name is Zolf. No hiding he's an Ura. Folks like him ain't never been a common sight in Caelondia. He's relieved to see a living face or two. The kid and I introduce ourselves in kind. Both to him and to each other for the first time. For Zolf, Caelondia was like a second home. He's real worried about his first home, too. Far to the east. He was born in the Tazil terminals. The Ura sent him on a mission of peace to our city, and he's lived here ever since. We fought the Ura decades ago, but that was then. Things are different between us now. Squirt cider will toughen you right up. Too bad about the musty aftertaste. Kid ain't finished here yet. The Corps, they remember. That's why this place is coming together. That's why things are gonna be all right. Well, look what we have here. The lost and found. Here, kid takes fragments of the old world and makes them whole again. We tracked down a couple more Corps near the edge of the city. There's only one way to Cinder Brick Fort. The hard way. Sure, the city marshals may be gone, but now the fort's crawling with windbags. The calamity was mercy for normal folks. The windbags ain't so lucky. They've been left to freeze or starve or face the kid.
O, pad się rozładował. Be right back, just need to find the cable.